So I haven't gotten a vaccine in almost 20 years, actually. I had some mental health challenges as I was growing up, and it wasn't until very recently that I discovered I had mercury toxicity, and vaccines used to contain a mercury-based preservative. I think some of the flu vaccines still do. Now, the interesting thing about the mercury test is that if you were to test a urine or a blood sample for mercury, the lower the test results, the more mercury toxic you potentially are. The reason being that we're all exposed to mercury regularly, and a low test result means that you're not getting rid of it. And so the actual way to test body tissue for mercury is that you have to take a chelating substance like alpha lipoic acid and test your urine within 24 hours of taking it. And mine was off the charts. I remember I was in the 95 percentile. And even to this day, I have to be careful about my diet. I often get nervous about, fortunately they're being phased out, but I often get nervous about fluorescent light bulbs. People sometimes don't take good care. They throw them in the garbage can. I make it a point to, if I see them in the garbage can, even if they're unbroken, I make it a point to find out who's throwing them in the garbage can and to make a big scene out of it. And some people just think I'm crazy for doing that. And one time I pointed it out, and there was an unbroken bulb, and my coworker commented, "Are you still mercury toxic? You're making such a big scene out of it." And so there's not a whole lot of acceptance for that. But I haven't gotten the flu for many years, so I like to credit my healthy diet, right? You often hear people come up with all these plans for avoiding the flu. Obviously the vaccine, washing your hands, covering your cough, maybe even a little bit, even before COVID, people were a little bit conscious of social distancing during the flu season, right? They didn't want to be within breathing distance. But nobody talks about keeping your immune system strong so you can actually kill the flu virus when you come into contact with it, right? It's not popular because somebody loses money when you don't consume sugar or trans fat or whatever it is, right? I'm recording this on November 10, and I'm really excited about the news about the vaccine, but not because I want to get the vaccine. See, all this news is causing a lot of market volatility, and I'm hoping for an opportunity to buy something. One of my favorite ratios is the platinum to palladium ratio. It's a very cool ratio because over a period of even a person's working life, right? Let's say it's 30 or 40 years, it can revert back and forth by huge swings, which means that if you were to time your trades correctly, you could potentially multiply your platinum or palladium holdings by quite a factor, right? So all this vaccine news that's causing the markets to shake is a buying opportunity for me, and I'm holding for the long term, so I'm not worried about making a short-term mistake. As long as the ratio swings to a very extreme value, it's probably a good buying or selling opportunity for either platinum or palladium. And actually, I'm not worried at all about making the wrong trade in the short term because I rarely ever sell any of these things for cash. I made the mistake many years ago. In 2011, I sold some silver when it was $35 to $40, and I got a good deal at the peak. And my idea was that I could buy some of the silver back when it was $25, $20. It didn't turn out that way, though. I never bought it back. You know, cash will just dissolve in your life if you let it. And so I learned my lesson to stop holding any sort of cash. If I'm going to sell platinum, I'm going to buy palladium and vice versa. So I'm not too concerned about picking the exact minimum because it's all monopoly money. What I care about is how much platinum I eventually leave to my children or retire on, right? And so I'm not too worried about that. But I haven't gotten sick for many years. The only time I was sick in the last 10 years, and I'm not even sure what I had, was when I came home from Taiwan last year. I shot a number of videos when I was in Taiwan. I felt like my stomach was out of place, and I felt like I didn't taste things correctly. I lost my appetite for 2 or 3 days, and earlier back in May, I went to get tested, and I have antibodies to COVID-19. But this was October, and I'm not sure what I had. But I think that I credit only getting sick that one time in 10 years to a healthy immune system, and unfortunately, it's not going to get a lot of coverage because somebody loses money when you follow, immune system distancing, right? Thanks for watching.